Hey all, XArt student here. I'm a full-time artist and I decided a great way to remember each month is making a little zine for each month. So this is my March. I'd like to show you. Here's some just random things that inspired me, or little artsy things that couldn't fit in any categories. I just had fun trying it, whether it failed or was successful. It was just really fun to do it. Next, these are the birds that I saw in March. I didn't realize how much birds fascinated me until I looked at the footage that I got, and it makes sense. I just like looking at them and how peaceful they are and how beautiful they fly. It's just really nice to see how the birds actually act in nature and not in a city street or a suburb. Here I want to show you all of the cool skies that I saw, whether it had a moon, a sunset, beautiful clouds, foggy trees. I just want to show you the beauty that I saw in March, and maybe you can do that in the next month. So I know these clips might seem random, but they're not. They're all categorized based on things that I saw or inspired me. So if it's beautiful sunsets, they'll all be in one little category. If it's an art project, it's going to be in one little category. And I figured it's kind of like those old TV shows where they zoom into the book and then show you what's going on in that scene. So I'm hoping that comes across in this video. Let me tell you about my trip to South Carolina. So I was lucky enough to get invited to my cousin's wedding, and we got an Airbnb on the beach thanks to my parents. It was so beautiful to just wake up, put your toes in the extremely cold water, and see such nice, beautiful things. I just wish it was a tad warmer. On this day, my dad and I decided to travel to upstate New York, and we went snowboarding. Turns out I'm not very good at it, but by the end of the trip I was starting to get it. I did have to take tons of breaks. I still fell so many times, and my wrist still hurts after weeks. The thing that I was most comfortable with and had a lot of fun with was walking the Rip Van Winkle Bridge. My dad and I have always seen it, and he said it was possible to walk it, and I was like, well, we don't have the dog, so why don't we try it now? And it was so beautiful. You got to see a beautiful view of the Hudson and be on a shaky bridge, but it was unbelievable and just a great sunny day to wrap up the rest of the day. Not gonna lie, it was kind of scary when you look down, but the views were too beautiful not to, and I was afraid I was gonna drop my phone. Thank God I didn't. I just love being in nature, and especially on a sunny day, seeing the world. And if you're wondering, why does this artist not draw? I just ordered the footage based on what order I had the zine in. I draw daily, and you could find all of these shorts on my YouTube channel. It's hard to make them someday, but it's really good practice. For a birthday present, I made a painted Rubik's Cube, custom painted for my brother-in-law. He likes cyberpunk, so I painted each side. I was nervous about it, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. I protected each side with resin, and it still turns, so can't complain because it functions and looks nice. And my brother-in-law likes it, so that is a bonus. This month I was in a really big comic pen sketching kick. I was excited to just do line work and create little stories. I loved how this one turned out. It was so sweet, and it's just a fun little story about my star goddess placing stars all throughout the night sky. Some days I like to walk around different towns in Connecticut and see the historical buildings, the beautiful houses, churches, anything that just looks not modern. It's so nice. On this day, I created a Victorian letter. It was on my list of things to do for a while, but one of my followers/friends on Instagram/YouTube suggested that I try making one. And I think my issue was I don't even know what to make it about. And eventually I settled on sirens and mermaids, and I love how it turned out. It was definitely tough to try filling in every single white space on the paper, but it was a good challenge. I love how it turned out. Each little thing is detailed and specific towards sirens and mermaids. It looks like a dark, deep lagoon of death and has some lore in there, so can't complain about that. I'm pretty proud of myself for this illustration. I think it gets that grimy, scary feeling across. On this day, it was finally cold and clear enough on the ice to go ice skating. I like to ice skate on natural surfaces. I think it's more fun, and it's like, yeah, I got a freebie ice skating rink. And I don't know why, but I've always been drawn to recording my feet when I'm walking or hiking. It's kind of cool to see all the weather changing and the adventures I've gone on just looking down. Because you know what? You do look down at your feet. Of course, I try looking up as well. Sometimes you see cool textures and shapes and shadows that are so interesting on the ground. There's so many little things we miss every single day when we're walking or going to work or traveling that if it's just looking at the tiny things, I want to do that. And as I just mentioned, looking around, being present, that's what I wanted to do here. I like to take tons of walks and hikes in nature, and you just see beautiful things, so why not capture it so you could enjoy it forever? I think I'm obsessed with being in nature because it resets my mood, it resets my mind, it can inspire me. I feel like a kid again, or I could just forget about stuff. If you're focusing on how beautiful the light is on the water, or how wonderful the shapes are that the sticks make, why does my little problem matter when we have such beautiful things around us? When the weather stopped being so cold, I took a bike ride and tried to film. Totally crashed. I love the wind in my face and how free I feel. I need to do it more in the warmer seasons. Here's another comic I made. It's based off of 2 daily drawings that I did, so I'm happy I did those. And it's about an abandoned church and finding this mysterious woman. Turns out it's a demon trying to lure you in. She's saying, "Oh, I'm expecting you." And it's kind of scary, but I love how it turned out. Here's actually the plane that I took to go to South Carolina. I just liked the image, so I put it on my zine again, and I do have some cool footage of the beach and the airport. I figured it'd be fun to fit it in here because it is a part of my life, and I thought these were beautiful enough moments to record and to share. Side note, if you're able to get an Airbnb in walking distance of the beach, do it. It is such a good decision. This is a project I did where I found this French poet's artwork and wanted to make it my own using moths instead of butterflies to make this piece. And that actually brings us to the end of this video. That is my whole month as an artist in Connecticut. I try filling it with mainly art, but I also find it's important to live, and sometimes I forget that. Just because it seems like I'm having fun all the time isn't necessarily true. I just try to make it a point to go outside and try to make something beautiful for myself as well as you guys. Also, what did you think of this month's zine to wrap up my March? I kind of like this idea where I zoom into each picture, but please tell me in the comments below if it was irritating or if you liked it. I enjoyed making it, so hopefully you enjoyed watching. Thanks so much, guys. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you like, and
I have different social media you could check me out on. I have a sale going on my Etsy. And thanks so much for joining me. See you next time. Bye.